Daniel Murphy for In the Hood. Okay, now before you start asking yourself, where have I been? Well, like the greater part of the world, I've been consumed by coffee. Been drinking lots of it. It's been keeping me up for weeks, if not days. So I thought I'd change things up a bit, maybe go a little more smoother, casual. Found myself in Parkdale, the Parkdale neighborhood, where of course everyone knows Parkdale, the Gladstone. How could you not know the Gladstone? Well, I stumbled upon an amazing place with my producer called PlenTea. So what is PlenTea? Well, come on inside with me and let's figure it out, what it's all about. I don't know, maybe we'll turn over a new leaf. Who knows? Come on, let's go. Thank you for having me, and Mohammed. Guys, thanks for having me in your establishment today to enlighten the world that's completely consumed with drinking coffee, which everywhere you go, you're tripping over a Starbucks or something else. Tea, why tea? Where'd it come from? Enlighten me.
Okay, so both of us, we come from a culture where we drink a lot of tea, right? And it's always been part of our lifestyle, always been part of our heritage, always been part of any family gathering, social gathering. Tea has always been a big part of it. So it's true, coffee is a dominant, let's say, caffeinated drink here in North America, right? But I mean, all across the world, tea is very dominant versus coffee, right?
I have noticed, I'm not going to lie, that the tea market is expanding. David's Tea, for example. Now, mind you, that's a hugely commercialized processed tea. Now, I think from what I can tell being in your establishment, this is more of a personal, intimate tea place where it's really comfortable and the vibe is really cool. I'm going to ask you, Mohammed, what inspired you to bring it? I know your culture is tea, but what really brought it? Like, did you guys just sit down and say, you know what, let's start selling some tea? How did it happen?
No, it's true. It's a good question. I think when you first mentioned that coffee is very dominant everywhere, we believe that because it's cool. It's being made into a latte, different kind of lattes. People really enjoy the flavor of that beverage. So we thought to ourselves, why the tea is missing that part? Right? Why is it only just a tea bag in a hot water? So we decided to come up with our own tea lattes. Everything is made from scratch, so you get to customize your tea because it's very, like you said, there's a broad range of flavors. So we specialize in tea lattes. It's very popular. People really enjoy these flavors, and we've introduced it in a very new, cool way, similar to a coffee. But to add on top of that, you get the health benefits of the tea as well, right? So, yeah.
What's a tea latte? Explain it to me.
Okay, so now everyone's used to espresso latte, right? Which a latte is milk, right? So our tea lattes, they are tea with milk, but we do it differently. What we do is you actually take fresh teas, herbs, spices, according to a recipe that we make, and we put them all and steep them in the milk themselves. So the milk is steeping with all our fresh raw ingredients, the tea, the herbs, extracting all the flavors. So when we're done with actually steeping the latte, we pour through a strainer, which actually what pours through the strainer is this rich, flavorful. I call it a drink with no flavor holes because it stimulates every palate. It's great. It's great. Definitely.
Now, where did you guys? And I'm gonna ask you both. Where did you get your recipes? I'm gonna ask you first. Where did your ideas come from? And then I'll ask you the same question because I'm sure everyone has their own idea and brought the things to the table during the meeting, and maybe some recipes were missed.
Yeah, so the tea recipes come from different sources, right? But primarily, we have some tea recipes that come from family, kind of like family tradition, right? So, yeah, exactly. And that's where you start. You start from what you know, right? From what your family taught you. So I have a few recipes from my aunt and mom, which you brought them to the table. Some of them are classics, right? But even with the classics, we put our own little flair into it, a PlenTea flair into it, right? So we and even actually some of them we came up with some recipes too, right? Which is actually very interesting. So
mama's going to tell me that.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with it? Was he sitting in like the room, chilling out, and you thought, you know what, let's try orange and pomegranate?
I wish it was that easy, but it's for sure. I mean, like you have to understand the flavor blending for tea. Tea is very delicate plant, right? So anything you add into it could dramatically change the flavor, right, or affect it. So first you have to understand what could be paired with what. Obviously, as we long hours of blending and trying things.
Like where you made something and you thought it was going to be really
we had to get a lot of popcorn bags on the side just to kind of like change the flavor up a little bit, and I mean, like we added a few things, and I think the challenge of the blending is not what to put, it's how much of each ingredient to put, right? And that's the game is right there. Exactly. You don't exactly.
What is, and I'll ask you again both, what is your favorite creation that you've made, and is it one you've come up with?
Wild pumpkin, I have to say. Yeah.
Is this yours idea? Or
Yeah. So we came up with it here, and you wanted.
time for it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, it was just a recipe. You know, we wanted to come up with some fall drinks, right? So usually, you know, like when you have a little bit of downtime, right, in between rushes. So I'd be downstairs mixing flavors, trying different combinations of spices and herbs.
in your lab downstairs?
In the lab right there, yeah, exactly. So that was, and then it actually came out, and we mixed it up and slowly fine tuning until it tasted really good. We put it to a few friends of ours, our staff, you know, a few regulars that came by. Well, the regulars that came in, they had the first dibs, right? Because, you know, like, we wanted them to get their opinion, because, you know, we have some really good loyal regulars that come in all the time. So we wanted to give them kind of like a nice little touch, right, for them to give it a try. Yeah, exactly. So, and then when we got really good positive response from everybody, we're like, okay, we had something good. Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite, Mohammed?
My favorite, I must say, is Thai Dragon. I'm sure everyone who knows me in the shop will already know by that time. Is everyone who comes in, the first drink I suggest is Thai Dragon.
Now, what's in that?
It's really it's very unique. We mix we crush up cardamoms, mix it with some coconut and black tea and steam melt together, right?
I would never think of these things
Exactly.
together.
It's and that's the first impression where people try, be like, what is that actually tea?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
Sounds
mean?
like a
And
dessert, if you want my opinion. It sounds
it's
like
very fulfilling to me to see the reactions of people when they try it. So
that's
it's
your
Thai
name?
Dragon. That's
Thai
it.
Dragon. Now, how are you finding tea drinkers, again, in a world consumed by coffee, but in this area? Because you're in the Parkdale area, right? Now,
We're in Parkdale, so this neighborhood is great, right? I mean, like, Parkdale is a neighborhood where demographics is lots of like younger, more trendier, cool people that just moved in. Exactly. And there's like there's new developments. It's an up and coming area, great community. So it's the kind of community where people like to try new things, right? So and people are very health conscientious, extremely, right? So tea is a very healthy drink. I mean, coffee should has been around for a while, but people know the benefits of tea, the herb, the spices that go into our drinks, right? So they'll come in, even if they drink coffee during the day or during the morning, which I understand, right? It's the first thing to wake up. But yeah, I understand that coffee is always like a first drink, but they love the teas, right? So they'll come in. So they'll come here specifically for the tea. So they'll have the morning coffee at home, and they'll come here specifically for our teas.
I find is more of a, like I said, gas in your tank. You got to get going. You don't really, and I don't want to say you don't enjoy it, because you do. But when you're sitting down, I can see from where I'm looking, and you're being social with your friends, and you want a nice cool drink. I'm an iced tea-aholic, because that's what I drink when I'm just drinking something, right? I'm going to have like a case of things to try before I leave here. But iced tea is my thing. So when I want to, like, refreshing almost. Coffee is, like I said, it's gas in the tank, so it has a purpose. Tea I like to enjoy with my friends and socialize with, and I think you guys have nailed it here.
It's extremely social. You can even see the tables. All the tables are built to be social. This whole space, this whole space is
Now,
built to be social.
who came up with the ideas for the interior?
Busy, work and running. Exactly. We wanted to just create a space where people can actually sit and meet or do work or maybe go out on a date with a cup of tea, right? Yeah, exactly.
Went out for a tea for a change, right? That's a great idea. Now, when I come and say I like a particular flavor more, you said I can create my own tea?
Yeah, definitely. Usually, what we have now is people more of like modifying the drink that we have. Our menu is very diverse in terms of flavor. I'm sure you're gonna find something that you will lean towards. But what we have people modifying is, let's say it has lemongrass, ginger, green tea. They'll be like, "Can I have more ginger?" We're like, definitely, exactly. So we can do that for them, and that's really something people appreciate.
You could probably also guide somebody, say that didn't like myself at the end of this, not a big tea drinker. I'm from Newfoundland, I should be, because I think it's against the law if I don't drink tea. I'm going to try your Thai Dragon before I leave, because you sold me on that, but then I want to try your JC will have your pumpkin, and I'll just try his whenever.
Yeah, people get to see how we actually strain everything, cook everything in the milk, and they get to smell the aroma. That's the best part. Alright, so as you see here, all the fresh ingredients. Now it's ready to be enjoyed.
Nice. Hey Daniel, come in and grab your tea.
So this is the Thai Dragon.
This is the Thai Dragon.
Handcrafted by...
So I'm about to try the handcrafted Thai Dragon. For purposes, I prefer to do it off camera because I might enjoy it that much.